and welcome to Downtime Activities. Matt here. We are returning to our combined Star Wars game. Last time, a pretty intense rescue mission where Zadra, your Jedi Master, the Jedi who's been training you since your true master was unfortunately killed, was on board the Umbra, a strange, dark reconnaissance vessel run by the Inquisitors. You were able to save most of him, his leg staying behind, unfortunately, in the ensuing scuffle with Inquisitor Jakar. And...
Zadra clone incoming.
Ooh. Oh, wow. Why you give me these ideas?
What's the turnaround time on a clone?
Depends on the process. You need to go back to Carbon Crucible and finish the job. The scientists are still alive.
We might be dead by the time the Zadra clone comes hunting for us.
He lost a leg. You got a very badly injured arm. You guys decided to just jitfo out of there. Luckily, you had R3A1, I believe, is the name of your droid, on controls, and he ran an astrogation and jumped you the hell out of there. And that is where we pick up, is where that left off, with you all jumping to a different system.
First, we find out where we end up.
Yeah.
Then we...
Oh wait, first we have destiny points.
Oh.
First, everyone roll.
First, destiny points.
Black.
As is tradition.
Wait, no.
Just one?
Hey!
What are you doing?
Clear.
2 light side.
Damn it!
And I'm not going to roll on this one. That's a reasonable pool. Yeah, 4. 3 you roll and should be plenty. So, you jump into this other system. Looking about, you seem to be just outside of what appears to be, I mean, at a glance, a fairly desertous planet. That's just looking through the cockpit of the ship.
Do you hear faintly?
It's echoing on the space.
You could hear it in orbit.
I'm not going to bury the lead here. Like you can, it's not like R3's like, I'm not telling you where I took you. Like you can see the astrogation data come across on like the display here. It appears he has jumped you to a kind of weird system. The planet in front of you is called Urkit, not Tatooine. And you can see the data that he's like...
That's a weird name. Urkit, not Tatooine.
I just wanted to make sure that you understood it wasn't Tatooine.
That's right. So kind of, it's fairly nearby to Mandalore, which makes sense. It was something nearby that he could jump to. Fairly nearby, it's kind of moving... I don't know, it's hard to describe. You're moving further and further away from hut space as this goes on. So you're pretty far away from your home, at least. But jumping to Urkit, you can also see reading across what looks like, I mean, it takes a second. You can see kind of like, basically you're getting like the data read of what's going through R3's processor, and it kind of, you see like an encrypted code come up and then get solved and spelled out before you. And you can see that where he's taken you is, or at least was, a hidden medical facility for the Republic during the war with the Separatists. And it seems like...
How does he know that?
Do you ask him?
Yeah.
You say, how does he know that?
Yeah.
R3 will...
re-encrypt the message.
will basically say, do you speak droid? If we decide that you should speak droid. Manus does, but Manus is currently unconscious, I believe.
I assume Skull speaks droid.
That he does. Through some level of...
So, no, this is what happens. You hear R3 start beeping, and then you see Skull, raise up his arm like this.
R3 basically says, I was an astromech droid for Jedi. I know a lot of stuff. And you're lucky I brought you here. Is basically what he said. If it wasn't for Jedi's being injured, I wouldn't have brought you to this place. But what you hear is beep 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 beep. Says, got all sorts of information in here, but I'm not giving you any of it unless it's necessary.
You're on a short leash, droid. As far as I'm concerned, you showed up late.
Beep, 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 beep. You're lucky I showed up at all. It's just you on board.
Skull, rip his circuits off.
Looks like beep, beep, beep. He's like in a little socket thing, but one of his alarms comes on.
That's what I thought.
And he'll move the ship into land. Seems like he's sassy with you, but once you threaten him, he's got self-preservation. And as so long as you guys are, those of you who are conscious, so the two of you, so long as you are not resistant to the idea, he's going to try and fly you into this space. Seems like seeing how badly injured they were, R3 thought the best course of action would be to jump you to the nearest medical facility he knew about. Which was on this planet.
Fine. My suggestion was going to be that smuggler planet, because we could probably get medical attention there without people asking too many questions, but this seems to be...
And as far as, if you mean the one where you, like, track down the Bothan,
yeah,
that one, that is basically on the opposite end of the galaxy from you now.
Oh.
Like that, it's like kind of hut space up here, that's over here, and you're down here now. Like, you're almost across the galaxy from that planet. It'd been a longer journey, that's for sure. Bringing you in, you can see, I mean, it's fairly Tatooine-y. It's not Tatooine, but it looks like you can see sprawling desert landscape. It's a little rockier maybe than Tatooine. And you can see a kind of section of buildings that look fairly Tatooine-y and that they like sandstone construction. It looks, you can see like sand piling up along one side of it, probably where wind's blown it up. It seems abandoned and non-used, but still standing. And there's an area where you assume kind of landing pad and stuff was previously. It's all sanded over, but that's where he brings the ship and lands, and it seems fairly level compared to the rolling dunes around it.
Okay. Yeah.
This is not your environment.
Yeah, no.
Well, keep an eye on them, and Skull and I will go see if it's actually empty.
Okay.
R3 kind of rolls out and starts following behind you, and will say, boop, 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 boop. Basically,
You can tag along if you want.
Skull turns and says, he knows the door codes.
Okay.
Well, that's better than trying to blow him up.
Yeah, I'm all out of demolitions charge.
We can't keep hitting up the Mandalorians for more.
And you go out to the structure. You can see around the outside of it. Go and give me a perception. Give me a hard perception.
Ooh.
Cranking up the difficulty. Yeah.
Perception is cunning.
It is.
That's good. I have cunning. 3 success, 3 threats.
3 success, 3 threats. You can clearly see what was at one point it looks mostly like a sand dune now, but you can tell that one of these sand dunes is poured over the top of what was probably a transport ship. That's almost completely buried, but you can partially see. You can also see... What does this look?
This is mean,
you can also see a decent amount of like damage to the outside of the building. It doesn't look like blaster fire, but it looks like the building has some like holes and burr holes almost in the outside of it. Some like damage in just a couple little spots, and it itself seems more or less still secure, but it seems like there's some damage on the outside of it, and it seems like at least one ship didn't make it off.
Brain worms.
What?
Filled with them.
That's why you don't go exploring abandoned facilities. Xenomorphs.
Yes. Aliens.
You're telling me it's not Freddy Krueger? What? Crazy.
Didn't we have an idea
Strahd.
back in the day for a Nautilin Mandalorian? And then you use the like stealth suit upgrade, so you're just like literally a predator.
Oh yeah,
Because
we
you like
did that.
Mandalorian mask with the
With, like,
dreads.
yeah, with the dreads coming out the back. Would be a rad character.
Anyway, let's try the door.
Okay, going up, it seems like the door is sealed, but R3 comes up, puts his little prong thing, and then and the door opens.
Does it seem like there's any power?
It seems like there's still power to the facility.
Wow.
That's a good sign, unless there's people here.
Opening in, it seems powered, but eerily quiet.
Guess we'll just search the facility.
Okay, entering in, you can kind of move through. It's a fairly small facility overall. There's kind of one main hallway, and there's a total of 3 like actual rooms. There's an area that's like there's like a latrine area. There is a kind of what looks like sleeping quarters / like recovery beds. There is a large storage area, and then there's a large like more or less like medical actual like procedural location. For saying this, like, there's nothing else alive inside of here that you're going to be seeing or interacting with. Like, as you're moving through here, this place is quiet. It's powered up still. The sleeping quarters seem dusty but functional. The storage area seems to have a decent amount of food as well as medical supplies. And you can see there is a one full Bacta tank, like still full of Bacta inside of the actual medical area, as well as a number of other medical supplies.
No medical droid or anything?
No medical droid that you can see. No. And no sign of any people.
No box full of replacement limbs?
Not at a glance, but there is a more box in the back. You might be able to dig through and get lucky. Who knows?
Probably just get Zadra in the back to tank. He's probably the worst off on account of the actual missing limb. Man, this will be fine.
Yeah.
Rub some dirt.
He'll shrug.
I am not a doctor.
You could always ask the droid if there's a medical droid around. Might be in a closet or something. I don't know. I don't know anything about medical droids.
It's hiding. It heard somebody open the door and it hit the closet.
That's what I would do.
Well, I mean, let's get Zadra in the back to the start. Look, medicine is an int skill, and I'm just... Neither one of us are really set up for this.
That's probably the next character that I play will be an int character. That sounds like fun.
Mm-hmm.
Int and cunning, maybe.
Yeah.
So
Or
let's at least get Zadra in the back.
I mean, that sounds like you as a RPG player. Play the rogue and then play support caster with int and cunning.
That's fair. You're not wrong.
Why are you booing me? I'm right.
And then, I don't know, kind of try and stabilize the kid, I guess? I
Yeah,
don't know what I'm
for
doing.
the sake of this, like, looking through here, you can certainly easily laid out find a couple stim packs. So you could probably hit both of them with a stim pack so they both at least be conscious and, like, have enough. It seems like even hitting Zadra with a stim pack, he still seems... He'll like, wake up, but he still seems very disoriented and out of it.
Yeah, let's get him in the back to... What does a stim pack do for you as far as your... I mean, it's not going to deal with your wound, but, like, does that just give you... Are you at 0?
I was unconscious,
Yeah,
so...
okay.
He was close to it, and then, like, I believe right at the very end, he kind of used, like, a force power and, like, slammed you.
I might...
Unconscious, more or
So,
less.
you use 2, which will give you 9 back.
Okay.
I'll use 1 because I've been badly injured from just the whole string of events on Mandalore.
Flopsy had some strain that I think she just shrugged.
Yeah, you
I think that was like from the fight that I had a while ago.
Actually, I might use 2, which will get me almost back up to max. Which I assume means that I'm not actually fully healed. I'm just drugged up so I don't feel it.
Yeah, more or less. You feel no pain, whether you have injuries or not.
We kind of need... I mean, you might need a new arm. Zadra, I suppose that's up to you, whether you feel like that's a great character move.
I think it'd be fine if I just healed up my
Or you can heal up your existing
There will be
arm.
plenty of opportunities for you to miss limbs.
Zadra...
In a life of a Jedi, there's plenty of opportunities.
Zadra, there's at least one Jedi that lost like 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
4 of them.
He lost all 4.
One of them he lost at least twice.
If we're going off Legends and Expanded Universe, Darth Vader has lost all of his limbs multiple times. He gets absolutely decimated so many times in, like, comic books and other stories. Because everyone's like, what if I came up with a Jedi who almost got Darth Vader? That would be a super neat story.
Right.
And then the 12th one of those, you're like, is Darth Vader actually scary? Maybe Legends should be Legends. Sorry, nerds.
Legends should be legends so you don't have force negating ferrets.
Or zombie stormtroopers, because that's an entire, like, graphic novel as well.
Yeah, true. So Zadra's definitely going to need a new leg.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, that was my phone.
That's your father.
It was.
The phone was your father?
Your phone's your father.
I guess that's what happens when you're a cyborg.
Ask the Inquisitor.
Hey, who's your dad?
Who's your daddy?
Your mother was a refrigerator.
Yeah, Zedra's definitely gonna need a new leg, and I want my ship back. And we kind of need a medical droid. So
We'll heal up here. My thought would be we heal up here for as much healing as we can get, and then go in search of.
I was gonna suggest
medical
Skull and I
facilities.
go on a shopping run, and pick up a new leg for Zadra, kidnap a medical droid, get my ship back.
That sounds like an adventure. I'm game. I mean, well, I'm
No,
not game.
yeah.
Flopsy might be game.
No, I have to sit and watch you guys.
Flopsy's full mother mode.
Oh, but you should go on an adventure.
You guys you're almost dead.
I'm fine. I just can't use one arm.
He's basically fine. He's got
Do you think you would
5
be able to
wounds
fend for yourself, get yourself food, all that stuff?
I mean, you can cook mac and cheese with one hand. It's fine.
Where you gonna get it? Where you gonna get Star Wars mac and cheese from? The Star Wars store? There's no
There's a full
store.
pantry. That's what he said. There's a
Oh,
full pantry.
Oh, I was not paying.
There is like plenty of food supplies to last you guys a couple weeks at least.
Okay.
I mean, we can also wait here until people are better healed, and then we can just go go someplace where they can give Zadra a mechanical leg.
It also should be noted that Manus is fucking rich. I don't know if we've... if I've pointed that out for the people at home, I was like looking through my character sheet. I'm like, 54,000 credits, huh? Where the fuck did those come from? Oh, right. We sold the ship.
Yeah. Got ripped off too.
A third of my current funds comes from collecting my own bounty.
Yeah, I think that's a good plan to go.
So is it the plan that some of you are going to go try and get stuff and come back, or that you guys are going to wait here for a little bit of time to kind of heal over and then all go somewhere?
I'm fine either way. I mean, because after a couple of days when Zadra's in better shape, we could just go to another medical facility and get his leg replaced.
Right.
We wouldn't, I guess, necessarily have to draw a bunch of attention to ourselves.
That's kind of what I was thinking, yeah. But it also sounds way more fun for you guys to go on a medical droid kidnapping adventure. However, in the sense of self-preservation, we should probably just try to lay low for a couple days, get Zadra conscious and stable, and then go find a medical facility to replace his leg. And if anybody asks, it was a tragic mining accident, not a lightsaber battle.
Plasma
It was
cutter.
a plasma cutter.
Are you playing the classic game of plasma cutter or lightsaber? A recurring tale.
A record. Yeah. That is a classic joke that will never get old.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
And while Zadra's, I want to kind of look around for any scanning equipment.
Okay.
I mostly want to make sure they didn't, make Zadra swallow a tracker or something like that.
Go ahead and give me a perception. We'll call it hard again.
That's
because
the exact same roll I just made.
It's not exactly a you fail, you don't.
2 failures, 2 advantages.
You're not able to find really any scanning equipment or anything here. It seems that's not really the functionality of this place. You do find enough additional medical supplies that there will be a total of, after all those stim packs you guys have spent, there's 5 additional stim packs that you find scattered throughout.
Do you
as
have
well
any
as just
stim packs, Flopsy? You have 5?
I have 6. stim
Oh yeah,
packs.
you bought a bunch.
Okay.
And I have a
So if you
phone.
need to stack up, then you're fine.
I have 3, so I might, even if I don't take all of them, I might take.
You could take
a couple.
3 and Flops could take another 2.
Okay.
And then you can put down another 2. Flopsy has 8 stim packs and a phone.
For a while, I was going through stim packs like candy.
It's how it goes. Highly underutilized, in my opinion.
I
usually forget to use them.
For a while there, I was getting shot a lot. Then last session, I barely got shot at all. It was kind of refreshing.
It's because you had me
You
with you.
also find.
You did punch a lot of.
You said how many advantages did you say you had?
2.
2 advantages. One other thing that you do find is an Athacam MedTech military med pack, which is an emergency med pack that it seems like it's in a pack, like a kind of front load rig pack that's kind of tucked up in one of the lockers here, and it's a like field military med pack for like you bring this with you if you're non-medical personnel who may need to perform medical duties, and functionally it would help in an unskilled person healing somebody.
Okay.
So you find one of those. It's basically mechanically the way it's going to work is that usually it contains a data pad with instructions and a database of good to know information. So it's like a good helpful thing along those lines. It'll basically allow you to make a medicine check to heal someone else without any penalties. And you get to also count as having a 1 rank in medicine if you have no ranks in medicine because you have like a data pad going through stuff.
You have the highest intellect out of the 3 of us, I believe, so maybe
2.
you should hold on to that. Oh, you're only a 2 as well? Well, that puts us on par. You should hold on to it anyway.
I'll put med pack.
Could be useful for anyone to use. For instance, if they were wanting to like get rid of a critical injury.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
Maybe we
you
should
want to
just
try
use
and heal my crippled arm? It kind
I
of.
guess it will be easier for me to make that roll than you.
Yes. I don't think you can.
Okay, so it counts as
Obvious
giving. It counts as giving a rank in
medicine.
medicine.
And then a crippled arm. What's the severity on that?
I believe it's hard.
How many bubbles do you have filled in there on your critical injury?
3.
3.
So that'd be hard. Right? Let me see here. But it counts as
emergency. It counts as an emergency med pack.
it counts. So medicine checks to heal others may be made without penalty.
Right.
So I believe technically you increase the difficulty if people are like have fewer than half of their wounds remaining and stuff like that. First aid during encounter. Effectiveness on success and check these heals the number of wounds equal to the number of success symbols and heals the number of strain equal to the advantage symbols. If the player administering the check has appropriate equipment, and the base difficulty is determined by the state of the character's health as seen on the table.
Tables.
So what's your current wounds?
9 out of 12.
9 out of 12.
Yeah.
So you could technically make a healing check to try and heal more wounds for him, or to heal his critical injury. I believe to heal his critical injury will be a hard check.
Oh, that's the kind of pressing thing to heal, but it's not the chances. Not great.
Well, yeah.
Flat nothing.
Nothing. So he is not healed by this, but it doesn't like expend that med kit. It's still functional.
Nice.
Okay. Well, that's the other thing we'll do when we find a medical droid.
Well, it only really helps if you don't have any ranks of medicine. So hopefully the medical droid has ranks of medicine.
It should, yeah.
You would hope so.
but like you getting your wound, your critical injury fixed.
You guys are gonna
is
be
the
so
thing that-
salty when I'm the smooth-talking, perceptive doctor, and I can just
You're just a Grey's Anatomy character.
Yeah,
For
exactly.
your next Star Wars RPG.
I just have a 3 in intellect, presence, and cunning, and I'm just just solve all of our combat problems.
Joke's on you. That's the campaign. I go full Jawa.
I know.
And I play the toughest guy in the galaxy, which is a current Star Wars character that I'm brewing, who will also be a doctor.
we always do, like, it's always Erickson tries to go for as much like AC as possible.
I make the tank.
Erickson makes the ultimate tank, and then
I try to get
gets
as many
tired of
skills as I
playing it
can.
halfway through because it's
Here's
just-
what happens. I make the ultimate tank, I get bored of it because I'm unkillable, and then I make some sort of support, castery, artificer / engineer character. That's what's probably going to happen.
That's fair.
Anyway, back to this story.
So yeah, let's stick around for at least a couple days till Zadra's stable and conscious, and everyone's kind of at full, and
Okay.
then I think we'll. I'd probably like to spend at least a decent amount of time every day on Zadra's ship, just monitoring the scanner.
Okay.
Make sure it's not just like, it's not just Star Destroyers constantly dropping out of
Hyperspace. So, for the sake of this first day you guys land there, Zadra's floating more or less incoherent in the Bacta tank. You are resting, attempting some medical treatment. What are the rest of you guys doing? / what's the plan for the rest there? We'll take it a day at a time.
I'm gonna be looking over Zadra to make sure he's okay and if he needs like water or anything or food.
Okay.
I'll get him stuff.
It seems like for the time being, at least, he's still just kind of floating in the pool, and like he'll kind of like wake up and kind of foggily look around every now and then, but then like drift back off. He's still very out of it. Seems like he was knocking on death's door before you showed up. Like he's probably been treated pretty poorly before he had his leg cut off, and that certainly did him no help. There's a reason why his leg got cut off, because not only did that lightsaber specialize in critical injuries, but he also maybe had a couple. So, numbers add up.
How's Skull doing?
Skull-
Because you can make mechanics checks
you can.
to fix.
Skull is over half, but just.
Okay. I'll give Skull
I believe it's on someone else, and he's above half, so that's an easy mechanics check.
Cool. I have
A lot of mechanics.
a lot of mechanics. 4 success, 1 advantage.
Nice. So that will bring him up to a little shy of full, but close. And he wasn't missing any strength. If he was, that would have been effective. All right.
He's a pretty stress-free guy, that droid.
Zadra has to float. He's just easy going. Zadra has to float in the back to tank. But where are the rest of you guys? Like, are some of you sleeping on the ship? Some of you sleeping in the
I'm really in the medical
facility?
yeah.
Are you staying in like the room with Zadra, or are you going? Because there's like the sleeping quarters, and then there's like procedure table beds.
I
you
guess I
use in
can
the other
make
one.
it to the sleeping quarters.
You could probably
since my legs work and I'm not unconscious. I should
Yeah.
be okay.
Everyone else coming here. So is everyone staying in the facility?
Yeah, probably. If it seems like it's a halfway defensible position, then...
Yeah. I mean, there's really like 2 doors, like a front and a back door to it. The back door is kind of overgrown with, or covered up with sand. So it's kind of one door into one hall.
Gardner should really get in here and trim this sand back.
Well, keep
growing
Darth
all
Vader
over.
out at the very least. So.
And you guys go.
It's a
through
perfect place
nice
to
sleep.
hide.
Can everyone make me a hard perception check?
They're in the walls. They're in the goddamn walls.
Tell me, xenomorphs.
1, 2, 3. My cunning is 1.
Wow. I feel like that's...
Tree.
The first part's good,
Yeah,
and I feel like the second part makes a lot of sense.
1 success, 1 threat.
1 success, 1 threat.
Oh!
Alright, Jocelyn.
4 successes, 2 threats.
Okay.
Literally all of my greens were successes, and 2 of the purples only had threats.
Nice.
It's a very bizarre roll.
1 advantage for
1
Flopsy.
advantage. The advantage for Flopsy is this isn't happening to you, but you don't hear it. What the disadvantage is, the threats for you two is that something's happening to both of you. But you both successfully hear it. For the sake of this, both of you just roll me a force die and tell me which one it is. And we'll see who has the worst of it.
But that was literally the first time I've ever rolled
Two
the
ducks.
white side. Right side on the first die. Hey, we're white side.
Hey! So, I mean, it makes sense. Blood in the water.
It's true.
So, Manus, you are asleep in these quarters, and you're kind of like shifting around asleep. And you kind of like an itch. You kind of like itch along your side, and kind of itch on your chest. And you like reach up to like scratch up higher on your chest, and your hand like rubs against something rough and chitinous directly above your chest. And you open your eyes to be face to face with what I can only describe as a scorpion the size of a human's torso.
Oh no.
At his gasp, at his like jolt awake, it wakes the other 2 of you up. You awake to see the same sort of thing crawling up the corner of the bed at your feet, and I need vigilance from all of you.
Vigilance. It's a will check. Up. Alright. 1 success, 2 advantage. Flopsy is gonna have
Am I
that.
willpower?
Yep. So you roll that. 1 success, 3 advantage.
Nice.
2 advantage.
So everyone was 1 success.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
5 success.
They had no advantage, but 2 success.
Alright.
So.
Oh man, this is getting the old stabby stab.
I think your droid's trying to kill us. He shows up late, and he takes us to
Scorpion.
giant
infested?
scorpion pit.
Listen, Mr. Bounty Hunter didn't clear the facility.
I cleared the facility.
Turn the walls.
2 excellent. Tough difficulty. You are prone.
Exactly 10.
Advantage.
It's getting better.
Same for you, since it's using its stinger.
Uh-oh.
It doesn't crit you, but does have enough to activate that. So, you see, and you can kind of see this side of the side. You kind of gasp and turn and look and see Mana standing there with this thing. And it's the stinger on the scorpion. The scorpion has, think of a scorpion, but instead of like the 6 legs or whatever it has, it's like a hopeless amount of legs. It's like a centipede.
Oh no!
It's like a centipede along the line, along the sides. And it doesn't have like pinchers. It has like small like hook things in the front, kind of stabby.
Mm-hmm.
And it does have a long stinger that comes out of the top. And you see it glow like red hot above him as it like slides down towards you. And it is going to hit
Okay.
with 1 success for 6 damage. However, it has pierced 3, so it'll ignore 3 of your soak.
Oh.
How much soak do you have?
4.
So you will take 5.
5 damage.
You will also. It also has enough that is going to activate one of its qualities, which is Disorient 1, which means for the next round, because of this, like this thing stings into you, like it's like it's red hot and pierces through into your chest, and it pumps some sort of poison in you that like makes you feel delirious and confused.
Gotcha.
And so you'll add a black die to all checks for your next round.
Gotcha.
There's one that is also at the foot of your bed. It is going to probably. I mean, it has you prone, so it's probably going to try and sting you too. Which will be. You have a point of defense though.
I also had a point of defense.
Oh,
but
that's fine. Oof. So that is 3 success, which will be 8 damage with pierce 3.
8 damage with pierce 3.
Yes.
So
So essentially 11 damage against yourself.
So I take 3. Because my soak is still really high.
What's your soak?
8.
8. Okay. So 5. And there's 8. Yep.
I need... Next up, Cortosis Sweep from my armor.
And it is unable to disorient you, but it does sting into you. And then one is going to start. You can see that there's a total of 3 of these in here. One is clampering towards you, but because of your advantage, is not at your bed this first round. And with that, we go to Flopsy. I think was the first in the initiative with the most advantages.
I'm gonna try to kill it.
Okay, so you pop up,
Stomp, stomp.
and one of these is coming towards you. Are you using your lightsaber
Yep.
punch? Go for it.
Yep.
It'll be an average check against this thing.
And my forget.
Jesus Christ.
Don't forget.
1, 2, 1,
Don't
2,
forget.
3, 4.
Don't forget.
And then average, I believe. Yep, there you go. Jesus Christ. 4 success, 3 advantage.
4 success, 3 advantage. So that is 9 damage, I think, for you, because it's +1 and
Plus 2 damage.
with that, so 10.
10.
Because you have 4 brawn.
Yep, and then
With
it
how
has
they
breach and
Made this bullshit
sunder.
weapon for you work.
Yeah. Plus 2. It's got 2 crit.
So it'll be 10 damage.
10 damage.
And you have advantage to spend should you choose to spend it however you want. 10 damage is not going to be enough to kill this thing, but is going to hurt it very, very bad.
You might be able to crit it to like make it. So
And as we're saying, that's 10 damage. It does ignore this thing's soak, but it is still going to be up after 10. Some of these things are pretty... It's like it burns through this like hard chitinous shell on the outside of this and sticks into it and lets out this like horrific squealing noise, but it is still up. It's
Yeah, I'll give it a black die. Yeah.
You can do that?
Yeah.
Black die. Okay.
So
This one have black die in its next check.
Yep.
Sweet. And who was up after that? Who was
Me.
You.
Yeah, I'm
Justin,
pretty sure I'm
right?
last.
Yeah.
Well, I actually didn't roll for Skull. We'll
Was
say
it?
for the sake of this that Skull was with Zadra, so that someone was watching him.
Nice.
yeah, what would they do then? He's a
They didn't go for him because he doesn't have a pulse. Turns out these things want to feed.
Bunch. Alright. I will
delicioso.
make a lightsaber check.
Okay.
It's still an average, right? Because melee.
Average.
Did I get a black die?
I guess we decide whether it was your dominant arm. We'll say it was your non-dominant arm to be nice with your injury, so you don't have to add an extra purple to this if you're using just the one hand with your lightsaber.
Fair. All right.
Anything that uses the other hand, you have to add an extra purple to.
Ho ho! 1 success, 3 advantage, and a triumph.
Okay, so what's the damage on that? Your
So
lightsaber's 6, right?
Accurate 1, breach 1.
Did you add a blue?
6 damage. I didn't add blue, but that's.
You get that one.
I forgot about the accurate.
So with 1 success, that's 7 damage.
Yep, 7
It'll
damage.
ignore its soak. It'll take 7.
Okay. So I'll use a crit on it.
Okay.
And I get a triumph. Can I say like I knock it away from me with the triumph? Like it's like some kind of like helpful thing.
I'll say for the sake of this that you like slash and it makes it like jump. It kind of pushes it up and off of you, so you'll be able to stand up and stuff.
Cool.
If you'd like to.
Yeah, so
Sure.
it doesn't get the prone advantage on
Yeah,
me
it
anymore.
doesn't get the prone advantage, and you're able to be up and against it.
Sounds good. I gotta roll a d100.
I'll say for the sake of this, the other one's not on top of you because it didn't,
Right.
but it just like stung into the side of your leg.
Okay.
For his.
Ooh, it's a 95 on
A
that
95.
crit roll.
Let's go.
It's quite high.
I have the
Yeah,
cheat sheet up over here. I can
injury table.
scroll to.
Good, because I'm having a hard time.
95. At the brink. Every action it takes, it'll take strain.
Ah.
All right.
Certainly can be a game changer in a longer fight, but probably not for this one.
Jump back to that.
Well, yeah, I mean, it depends on whether these things have strain or not.
That's true.
So maybe he tries to do something. Just passes out. I'll just quick draw the heavy blaster pistol, I think.
Okay.
Because I can draw and aim the same turn.
You got this one there at the foot of the bed there.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that should be said that Manus has quick draw, so he's able to do that where he pulls out and attacks the same turn.
Well, you can pull out and attack, but you can't.
You can't aim as
maneuver.
well. You can't do another maneuver. Which you, I will say for your maneuver, you're
Standing
able to stand up.
Yeah.
Which you get to do because you're triumph.
Yay.
Yay.
So it's just 1, right? Because it's close range?
It was going to be 2 because it's engaged range.
Oh, right.
Oh,
and
actually, I have the jump up property, so I can get up as a free action.
Oh.
be.
Do you have another maneuver you want to
Can you
do?
double check real quick for me if the custom grip adds a blue,
I probably could.
or does it remove a black?
I know it adds a black.
I know it adds
like
black
2
to
black
everybody
to
else,
people
yeah.
trying to use it. Remove 1 setback die from all
Okay.
combat checks.
So it's just this then.
Huh.
2 success, 1 triumph.
All right.
So that's 10.
10 damage. Okay.
Um,
But that 10 damage that does get to have soak applied.
Mhm.
Still does some amount to it.
My damage to my fists as much as his gun does.
It's true. Lightsabers quite strong.
This was my less good gun, but I still wouldn't want to be punched by your lightsaber. Now,
Your guys' weapons are functionally identical because of your brawn being 4 and it being +2 and yours being 6 damage. It's like they're both 6 plus how many success you get, but it gets to ignore
Right.
people's 6.
Upgrade the difficulty of targeted character's next check, or upgrade any allied character's next check. Let's upgrade the difficulty of this thing's next check.
Okay. It'll have an upgraded difficulty.
So it'll go to a red.
And with that,
It's the bad scorpion's turn.
it's the bad guy's turn.
The back.
The one that you, we'll just go down the line. We'll start with you, Manus. There's one still up in your face here. It's gonna.
I can parry him.
It's
now.
a hopeless amount of like skitter towards you as you see again. Like the stinger kind of looks normal, but it kind of like shakes a little bit, and you see this like glow red hot, and it like stings forward at you.
I will parry.
Well, if it hits you,
If it is me. I guess that's fair.
and that will be.
I'm used
You
to
have a setback die from your armor. It doesn't get any other bonuses. Just 2 advantage.
Okay.
So
Bitch.
your friend here is so worried about you, she gets sidetracked. So we're gonna
Okay.
boost die to their attempt on her.
Fair.
Which her armor also gives a setback die. there. 1 success. So against you, it will be 6 damage, but it ignores 3 of your soak.
Okay. So
Because it's that piercing stinger.
yes, you'll take 3. So you'll be down to 15. Oh no.
Oh, no.
We get it. You're thick as fuck.
Flopsy, thick as fuck.
He's
Don't
gonna
stop it.
regret that.
She's 9.
That's right. Stop it. Stop. I saw you lewd artists out there. Stop drawing that.
All 6 of our viewers, but 5 of them are anti-artists.
Even though all 6 of our viewers, like 3 of which are us, 5 of them are lewd artists. 2 and 4 people are lewd artists. I know one.
I don't.
I have no drawing skills.
I don't watch any of our content, so it must be some of you all.
Anyway,
I mean, did you see the grandma I drew Andrea?
Andrea's grandma character was pretty lewd. So, last but not least is going to be you. They just had successes.
One of those is upgraded, and
Upgrade to a red, and they have a setback die. And roll it. 1 success, 1 advantage.
Wow.
So you might still. Well, you should only take like 1 from that because that's 6 with Pierce 3. That's just 6 damage with Pierce 3. So
yeah, I'll take 1.
Yeah.
but they will also disorient you because they'll use their advantage to disorient you. Which will be next turn a black on your checks. After that, back to you. Or to Flopsy.
Flopsy.
Excuse me.
Flopsy, you want to punch?
One punch. So bad.
4, 2, and disadvantage. No,
No.
boost. You got a boost on the other one. 1 success, 3 advantage. So that is 9.
1 success, 3 advantage. It'll be, yes, 9, which will be enough to kill this thing.
Cool. And then you have 3 advantage, so you can like upgrade the difficulty of one of their checks. You can give someone a boost die. You can give a setback die.
I'm gonna give a boost die.
I think you can boost that both of us.
Well, you can boost die the next person as well as a specific person, I think, with 1 and 2.
Mhm.
So I think you can technically give both
Yeah.
of them a blue die
Neat.
with those.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do that.
They're like, okay, these things can die. They bleed.
They can bleed. We can kill them. Alright, then I get 2 boost die. So, well, I mean, 1 from my lightsaber and then 1 from Flopsy.
Of course.
Roll. Hoo-hoo! 3 success, 4 advantage. So, with 3 success, that's 11 damage.
All right. That will be enough to finish yours off as well.
Cool. And I will give it, the last one, a setback and him a boost.
A boosty boost. Wait, how many did you have?
4.
4. Nice.
Sweet.
Okay. And the last one that's up is up in the old grill.
Okay, well, I'll aim, which will add 2 more blues.
You want to set back
And a
die to be
setback die.
disoriented.
Roll.
I'd still think it's in my favor.
I would think so.
3 success, 1 advantage. So that's 11 damage, which soak gets applied to.
So it is up, but very badly hurt.
Interesting with
To take the extra action, kick in the face.
As a maneuver. Again,
no,
my
but
toughest
the
guy in the
next...
galaxy ago. I think there's a maneuver I can do that just does a couple of points of damage. Or like, usually I can like suffer some strain to just knock people over as a maneuver. and
The
stuff
next
like
allied character will get a blue boost
Okay.
die.
Next allied gets a boosty boost.
That'll
After that, it'll be back to the top of the initiative order, which is this thing, which is going to sting out at you again, which is this against this with your setback die and another setback die. Doesn't have any boosts. That should be it. 1 failure, 1 threat. So you can spend the threat if you'd like to, however you'd like to do so.
I don't know if there's much of anything to spend one.
Not really, because they
Take
don't
a
have
strain.
threat. But, this thing, the threat is less for you and more towards you. This thing, like kind of skimpers back as it gets shot again, and this stinger kind of flies at you wildly, and you are able to sidestep it. And it also lets out like kind of that high pitched like shrill scream, but it's like kind of. It starts and then increases in how high pitched it is. It's like a until like you guys don't really hear it anymore,
Uh-oh.
and then you hear like a
I'm a dog.
noise and like a little shake to the facility.
I'm a dog, I assume.
Oh, you do still hear. This thing lets out an incredibly it's piercing shrill noise, and you feel like a slight shake in the facility.
All right. I guess. Are we
And
still
then
on
it's back to the top of the initiative order
let's
with you.
flop it.
So these things are just the babies,
Possibly.
and Mama is mad.
We'll be mad. All right.
Okay. I'm gonna kill it.
Okay, you run over to it, making a tape.
And I have it. Yeah.
1 success, 3 advantage.
That'll be certainly enough to do the last 2 wound
I
threshold.
imagine you don't even run over and punch it. You probably just walk over and
Stomp on it.
The squash.
And that piercing noise in your ear stops as you get smashed down.
Does the ominous thumping and shaking stop?
It kind of happens, and then there's a pause for a moment.
Can I... Oh, yes. I was going to use my force...
Force sense. Go for it. Roll me a force die.
Hey, 2 light side.
2 light side. You know, this force reach out ability only has so much range. Luckily for you, what you sense is within the range of it. And it's big and it's scary. You sense a presence that seems to be coming from the storage room, which is across the hall from you guys. And at this, you kind of like feel a presence like moving, and you see like one of like the larger kind of crate box things like tumble over inside of that room, and slithering around there you see a creature that's very similar to those other ones. It's maybe twice as wide, which is still like they're like the width of a torso, so it's not. It's about like yay big across. It's only like this big across, but it's easily 10 to 15 feet long, with all these kind of scampering legs coming around the outside. And you can see it's got 4 sets of those little like pincer things in the front, and the similar kind of tail coming behind it. And it slithers around the outside of this and is starting to move into the room towards you guys. And it's got thick ridged chitinous hide along its back.
That's not good.
That was your turn. So we'll say it's your turn. You can see this thing approaching.
I assume this is the only door into the room.
It is.
I guess I'll get ready for round 2. I don't like. We're not really gonna be able to get out of here.
This thing's like you could try to run across in front of. Like it's not quite to the doorway. You could approach towards it if you want to. That would limit who else could get up close to it.
I don't think my binders are gonna be helpful.
I mean, you can hold 2 of
I was
them.
going to say, how many sets do you have?
You're under arrest.
Stop right there, criminal scum!
We just keep putting every set of legs that comes through the door. We put a pair of binders on.
Well, yeah. I guess I'm gonna stab myself with a stim pack.
Okay.
To get myself. You get 5 back.
This is like
This is going to be the same day.
so you'll
It's
get
that
3
night, so
back.
you'll get 3 back because you've already used 2, right?
3. Oh no. Okay. So that gets me up to 7, which might soak an attack. Is that an action to do? I assume, or is it a maneuver?
To use a stim pack, yeah.
Okay.
So.
Then
Or it's a maneuver. Is it a maneuver to use a stim pack?
Yeah, on yourself you can.
On yourself, it's a
like
maneuver.
yourself. Okay.
Outrageous. It's a reaction.
Then I will hit it with my lightsaber. I guess.
Are you gonna? Well, you have to move up to it. It's not made it into the room next to you guys.
Can I hold
You see it
my
scampering
action
around.
if it moves close enough to me?
I don't know if there's really
attack?
held
I don't know if
actions
there's
and stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of the tricky.
I don't
Like,
I don't really remember.
listen, just you wait until I get some like cool lightsaber throw ability or something. You'll see. You'll all see.
Then you'll see.
There is no.
Oh, okay.
There's no held action in this system. Technically, like the way initiative works, you guys get a set of initiatives and you could choose which order you go in using each other's initiatives if you wanted, which we rarely use. We just have people use their own. So that's kind of there. Like if you didn't want to act right away, you could wait till a later initiative.
I
slot
see.
kind of
I
deal.
see. Okay.
So there's not really any held actions.
Yeah. Then in that case, yeah, I guess I just have to move up and
Be ready?
swing at it. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Oh.
you maneuvered to stick yourself.
Oh, you're right. So I can't move. So yeah, I'll
You
just
could
have to-
use your action to move up to it, I'd say. You wouldn't be able to attack.
That would
If you'd
be-
like to be the one person
Yeah.
next to it.
I think that would be a little bit foolish.
It might be good to be back a little bit.
I'd shoot it with my blaster pistol, but somebody shot my blaster pistol out
They
of my
didn't
hand.
shoot it. They sliced it.
sliced
it. So that's your turn.
Yeah, I guess so.
All he does
Okay,
is complain about that blaster pistol that I don't even know if he ever hit anybody with.
I had a couple of
I am going to switch away from the heavy blaster pistol to the heavy blaster rifle. And then just auto fire.
He keeps it under his pillow. So.
Yeah, it's sticking out both ends of the bed. What range is this?
You're inside the room. It's across hall and in the other room. It's just come around. I'd say you're medium range from it.
I could have
So
ran out and tried to
more.
close the door, I guess. Actually, can I use my action?
And this thing will have a point of defense.
Can I use my action to try to force close the door?
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm just
Try
I'm
you-
spitballing.
you could. Here's the thing. This thing probably is seeking food, or at least revenge on the death of the child. If it can't get inside there, it might have to try a different door.
That's fair.
And the only other
it comes slithering in the medical center and skull just like
Punches
it
it in the face.
sticks it right between the eyes. It goes across that.
The old donkey punch.
It's easy prey in here. What in the world is that?
Watch those wrist rockets.
Let's.
Voice lines that you hear from your childhood.
Watch those wrist rockets.
3 failures, 1 advantage, which
Oh.
means 3 failures, 3 advantage.
What are you spinning on?
It will. It'll probably just have. Yeah, we'll give it a black on its next check,
Nice.
and the next allied character, which I believe is Flopsy, will get a blue.
Yay!
So it'll go to the next slot, which is the bottom, which is theirs. So it is going to slither up into this room, and it's going to slither across the hall into the room, and it will be making 2 attacks because it's a big nasty. One with its front little claw things. It's going to move up to you with the blaster, with these little claw bits, and they're going to come at you, and then this larger stinger is going to go at Flopsy. So
could I add to it?
you have point of defense. It'll be average because it's a melee. Rolled.
I don't know. We'll have to check.
That. Lucky day. 3 advantage. So it does not get you, but it'll add a blue to go for Flopsy with the big stinger.
No! Get out of here.
2, but you have a point of defense. You have a threat to spend if you'd like to spend it.
Yeah, I'll spend it.
Do whatever you want with that. I mean, I guess
Take
you
a
can give it a
strain.
strain. Yeah, this one does actually have a strain threshold, so that's relevant. But that's going to be 12 damage with Pierce 4.
Ooh. So that's 10 damage, Urino, to your face hole.
As you see this this even larger stinger vibrate violently for a second, that glow come to it, and it's going to slide toward and stick into your shoulder. And it didn't get any advantage, so it doesn't get
It
the
does
company
how
poison.
much damage?
12 with Pierce 4.
Yeah, so you take 10. Phew.
Good thing I still have 5.
You're good. Luckily, you're the thickest one here. You are very survivable.
Not quite. I have barely managed to surpass Flopsy in total number of hit points.
So you can use this to
Barely.
gain more advantage.
Okay,
basically, is what it'd be for. Her Sapith Sundry, because it's like a brawl check. Well, I guess is it a lightsaber check or is it a brawl? I guess
It's a brawl.
check.
I let her use brawl for this to combine her class with
Oh
this.
my god!
I cheated.
Right.
I cheated to make her class work with a lightsaber because that's much more fun. and
It's super
interesting.
cool. It's just that her Sapith Sundering, it's like, well, it already has like the Sunder quality because it's a lightsaber.
Mhm.
But you can also just basically you can use it to generate more advantage because that's the other effect of it.
Is that in the
it
core?
gains it. It's
It's
Because you can, but there's also there's another page that outlines every section that outlines all of those skills in more detail as well.
it's not in the core book.
Okay.
Hers is a
Well, in that case.
supplementary one. Anyway, that's its turn. It is now in the room. It's swung at you guys, and then it's back to the top with Flopsy, who just got pierced by this big nasty stinger.
gross.
Alright, I'm gonna punch it.
Go for it.
Sweet.
Oh, sorry.
I'm gonna use
I have
my
the dice. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So we go bop 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 bop.
I also get an advantage.
And you get an advantage,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get a force
You'll
die
have 1 setback.
and 1 setback. Okay.
All those colors.
Yeah, that's a pretty complex dice pool right there.
All right, so that is 3 success, 2 advantage.
Okay.
And
So 3 success with yours is.
a light side.
Oh, you get to ignore up to 10 points of soak though,
Yeah,
which
light
is
side.
good for this
That's
thing.
it. Yeah.
Very good for this big chitinous bastard. So 3 success, 4 brawn, plus 2 damage is 9 damage, and then you have 2 advantages. Behind one. So 9. It'll be 9 damage that it'll take all of.
Okay.
What's
And
the
then
crit
2
rating?
advantage. I believe it's 2. Jocelyn does not have it written.
Which one?
The crit. So.
Oh,
lightsaber 2?
2. Yeah, plus 2.
Hang on, what's my crit rating? My crit rating's 3. Why would your crit rating be 1 less? Dang it, Jocelyn.
Some crit ratings. A lot of lightsabers do have crit ratings too.
The knuckles. That's what they said.
Does she have 2 written down for crit?
No,
Yeah.
she doesn't have anything.
Then just make it what I based hers pretty heavily off of the Shoto lightsaber.
Okay.
So make it have the same crit rating as a Shoto.
So
you have
damage.
3. So crit 3 there. You're fine. It was probably just me throwing a lot of numbers around.
Yeah, there's lots of numbers that go along
So
with,
yeah, so you can use that to give somebody a boost. You can give it a setback.
I'm gonna give it a setback. There.
Okay, next attack has a setback. After you, it goes to you.
All right. I guess I'll try to hit it with a lightsaber.
Go
as
for it.
well. But I don't get the light side. I don't get a. I do get a boost because of my thing. Ha! Ooh, 2 success and a triumph.
Alright.
So I guess I will.
So 2
crit-
success
crit,
with that'll be 8 more damage, which will put it there. Again, lightsaber's very good against big ugly chitinous bastards.
And then I'll roll a crit on it here.
Roll that crit. I will have the table ready.
A 39.
39 is going to be.
Chop his leg off.
You gave him a stinger. That's. I love that way more than it deserves. It adds a purple to its next check.
Okay. Well, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good. And with that, it'll go to you there, right?
Well, it's technically engaged now.
It is.
It is.
It moved up to
Which
to
means
claw
the
range.
difficulty of my check
It's
does
the fucking
not
same.
change. But this time, I will aim.
So it does, you get to add an extra blue.
So it does technically change. And it's still the setback die. And everything.
Setback die from defense, and then just 3 difficulty, I believe.
1 failure, 2 advantages.
So you light up again, and it's like, it's not that you're like not hitting it because this thing's fairly large. It's just it happens to be impacting along like the edge of plates and not piercing into this thing as you unload into it.
Generate so much advantage. I will spend my 4 advantage on giving it a. Yeah, no, it can have 2 setback die. You know,
Okay, that'll be a total of 3 with what she did. So
it can have 2.
it's going to be the same first attack, which is going to be the pitter patters coming at you, which is going to be with 2 additional black. That is a
an
hit.
additional purple.
Oh, I forgot. Which is straight nothing instead of 2 success. So, the pitter patter claws go at Raiden and do not make contact. It will, however,
It
also
sounds like somebody
have
playing
a
the cymbals.
stinger attack. You both hit it.
Sure.
You hit it for
Evens or odds?
slightly more than- Yeah, let's figure out which one the stinger's coming
Odds.
It's odds.
in. So does that mean it goes at her?
But next time, just both roll a force die.
I was evens. If it was evens, it would get me. If it was odds, it would hit you.
Just both roll a force die next time.
That is no. that is strictly
Yeah.
not in my
Yeah.
advantage.
Let's roll a force die.
I mean, so that's going to be 1 success, which will be 9 damage for Pierce.
Yeah.
But also 1 point of threat if you'd like to spend it.
So 9.
It takes a strain.
That's
Another
7.
strain. That's
So Flopsy is down for the first time in the campaign.
okay. This stinger strike. It's again. It rumbles, burns red hot, and sticks into you again. This time, when it does so, you take a crit. Go ahead and roll me a.
Does this thing have any
Savage or anything?
vicious?
It does not. It does not have any vicious. 54. 54 is fearsome wound plus purple to presence / willpower checks until end of encounter. So you just have an average wound because you're down.
Fearsome wound.
All right.
All right. Oof.
As the stinger strikes into there, flops again, tumbles over this big nasty.
This is the least helpful medical facility of all time. We're gonna leave with more critical injuries than we arrived.
Goodness gracious. All right.
All right, and that is its turn.
Okay.
It's
So
still kind of spinning
Flopsy's
around and
down,
stuff in here,
yeah.
but it's still engaged with both of you. Back to the top, which is Flopsy, but then you.
I will.
Am I passed out?
You
You are
are
down.
I'm big over
You are
it, you know,
unconscious.
before.
It has a setback from defense, right?
Mm-hmm.
It does. One setback from defense.
Oh, for advantage. Gotta give it 2 setbacks.
You could help your friend too, like 1 and 1 maybe. I don't know. It's up to you.
I guess so, yeah. I'll do one of those.
Technically,
You get a
you
boost.
could give me, since I'm up next, you could
Oh.
give me 2 blue.
I give you 2 boosts, yeah.
and give it a setback.
Okay, easy.
You really draw its attention over to you for a big shock.
Like,
Ugly. Look over here.
Okay. So this, if you aim, should be 3 blue, 1 black, and then your normal combat check. And I assume you're auto firing again.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yes.
What the hell?
That's a total of 7 advantages.
Jesus Christ.
Y'all can't roll success, can you?
So you
Haven't-
get 3 blue,
Nice.
and it gets 2 setbacks.
Ay. Okay.
Except, you know,
Which means my next attack is
When-
going to look like this.
back back before the campaigns combined, that's hilarious. That's a lot of blue dice. Back before these campaigns combined, where you complained about how many of my fights devolved into just idiot fights.
Yeah.
Where it's like
It didn't seem like that was happening with these guys,
Yeah.
but now it's going to be. So, the first to check, so it kind of swivels around, it's like pincer things, are coming at you.
Okay.
And it had 3 setback die on that total, between your 2 bumfuckeries.
Okay.
So, excuse me. Well, I don't think you want me to reroll it because it missed you.
Alright.
I could add another setback die because of your rank of defense. If you'd like me to reroll, that's up
I'll
to you.
keep it.
Okay. It just has 3 advantages. It'll give itself a blue and you a black. That'll teach it. And then it's going to sting at Raiden,
Oh.
which is going to hit for...
Just use your parry with this.
Well, easy. It is going to be 9. It's just 1 success. 9, but with the 4 hears.
Okay, so
This red
I will
hot
take
stinger.
5.
Okay.
Disgusting.
Disgusting! And with that, it's the end of its turn. I'll be back to you.
Alright, I'm going to try to swing and hit it with my lightsaber.
Go for it.
Hey, 4 success, 2 advantage. Or sorry, 3 success, 2
3 success, so with yours, that's 9 damage.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically 9, no more, no less.
Specifically 9.
Okay.
And then I'll give it another setback.
Okay.
It's a good thing we gave you so many blues, because 2 of those blues did nothing.
I know!
It is still up, but lets out a horrific, shrill cry at that.
And calls
no.
a bigger one.
And you hear the whole base rumbles like this. The great dragon explodes. And with that, it'll go over to you, Raiden. Seems like it's very bad off.
All you gotta do is hit it once.
I'll auto fire at it.
Okay.
2 failures, 2 advantages. It's literally, well, so technically 4 advantage. Literally, all of my positive dice are only rolling advantages. They're not
Maybe you
rolling
should not
any
auto fire
successes.
at it, because that
What?
makes it. There is a setback to doing auto fire every single time and upgrading your difficulty to try and abuse your cheap auto fire. Just saying, it's very effective, but it also
Don't
there's a
auto
cost.
fire.
There's a cost.
These guns have that setting?
It's literally like duct taped down to the auto, like on the auto fire switch.
Instead of
He's welded it so you can't change
instead
it.
of taking out the auto sear, I've like taken out the semi-auto disconnect.
Yeah,
It's like if I put it on semi, it doesn't do anything. So you'll get 2 blue and it'll get a setback.
There
Okay.
we go.
It'll be the focus. So this, and it's going to make the same attack it did last time. So
Hey, don't
it'll
forget
be
my
claws
defense.
at you with the defense, and it has 1 setback from you. Did you give any setback?
Mhm.
So, we'll do that. Roll it. Still hits you with its little chitness things. which will be for 9.
Okay,
But
I'm
no
going
pierce.
to...
It's the little
Okay.
claws. So it's
And I'm
just
going
9.
to use my dodge ability.
Okay.
Parry. Because
Parry.
it's in parry. And so I can subtract 4 from that.
Okay, so
From-
it'll be 5 against your soak. Which your soak is 4.
4 so
So you'll just take 1. But you also spend 3, I think.
Yeah.
3 strain to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. You parry off
That's
to the side of the
That's a
lesser.
pretty good ability.
It's
Yeah.
it's pretty handy. That's why I'm like, oh, we're in melee? Okay, I can do that. Then I'm like, it's not attacking me. Get over
It's
it.
not hitting you, at
Yeah,
least.
that's fair.
And the stinger will come at you there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which will be that. And a setback that you just have 1 point of defense.
Yep.
Hey, miracles do happen. Idiot fights do happen. 3 failures, 3 advantage. So with 3 advantage, it'll fucking give you a setback.
Ah.
Itself a boost.
All right, here we go. Ha.
Give your friend a boost.
Yeah, I'll give my friend a boost.
Give him a chance. Ay,
I'm stuck in my ways. Auto fire. 3 success, 2 advantages. It gets hit for 15 damage 5 times.
That'll do it. I mean, it's, so no one because you haven't hit it yet. You wouldn't know this, but it does have a soak of 10.
Whew.
So that is a total of 25 damage, even with that ridiculous of a hit, which is a lot of damage and definitely enough to finish this thing off. But why your lightsabers were very useful against this thing.
Because it had
As you just this thing kind of turned, like the stinger comes down at you and sticks just past you, and then it like rears up and like lets out this big gnarly snarl with its proboscis, or not for it's like a caliper snapper mouth.
Yeah, those little.
And you just light up the underside of it with your gun, and it lets out another shrill shriek and hits the ground and just instinctively does that bug thing where it curls up into a circle as it dies. And eerie quietness comes around, and then slumping around Skull walks around the corner and with like the weapon extended and like.
Find the astromech droid.
Roger, Roger.
I'm probably not going to kill him. I want to kill him. I probably won't kill him.
I'll
I guess
take one of Flopsy's stim packs and give her a stab.
Give her a stab. Okay, did she use any? She used
She
a
had-
lot.
she
She
used a
didn't use
full.
any last time?
Yeah, so she'll get 6.
5.
do we risk staying here, or do we find another medical facility?
What other medical facility? At the end of the day, we're here mostly to try to heal up.
Yeah, that's exactly my point.
No, to heal up Zadra.
Oh, okay. I should have let you finish.
Yes. I'll try to use the medical kit on Flopsy's injury.
Okay.
Because I assume since we can't use it on mine again until X amount of time has passed or whatever.
Go for it.
So
So for that, it will be an average medicine check, and you get to treat yourself as having a rank of medicine.
right, which is intellect. So that and that. 2 failure, but 3 advantages. So
Unfortunately, you can also make a medicine check for the wounds if you'd like on her.
Oh, cool.
Which, that one will be. Since she's
below
I
half.
think it's a hard check technically.
I'm below half as well, if you want
So,
to.
hard check on Flopsy.
since she's at 0, basically, it's going to be a hard check. Yours is an average if someone else does it on you.
I see.
If you're below half.
Nope.
Nope. So you
Heal
can try
straight.
an average one on Ryan as
Right.
well.
Let's see it. 1 advantage.
Get a strain back.
Too bad I didn't spend any.
Nice. And then someone can make one on you as well, because you took some damage there, I
Yeah.
believe.
I did.
So same
That's-
thing. Are you below half?
No.
Okay, so it's an easy one.
3 success, 1 threat.
Okay.
It hurts.
It hurts, but it helps. So you'll get 3 success. 3 wounds back.
Because that'll take. Because I went to 7, so then I get
Raiden doesn't
3. So
apply any pain,
Painkillers.
like painkiller stuff until after he's done like stitching wounds.
And then walking around the corner, you see Skull holding the astromech up in the air like this with this little like like this.
Trenching it.
His like head spins one way, spins the other. You hear like disgruntled beeping.
I like the idea that it's like spinning its treads and shaking its feet, trying to like dislodge itself.
And he's just like his arms is like turning with it, but holding it in place.
Like I said, droid, you're on a short leash. pointing to the giant.
We see like a little R2 like soundboard.
I'll let Sculptor put him down. I just want that droid.
He just dropped.
Yes, I just want that droid to understand that I blame him for this, even though. I mean, he's the one that brought us here, so I blame him for this. Obviously, he didn't summon the giant centipede scorpion. But.
And if you guys look through the storage room, something that you've not noticed before, because of failed check, there is like a fairly large burr hole that was tucked in kind of a back wall that seems to be kind of burrowed through even the metal plating of it, that seems to kind of almost burned away. That was behind a bunch of the crates.
Well, let's drag all these things in there. Take any supplies we want out of the supply room, drag those things in there, and then shut and lock the door again.
Okay.
Actually, I'll use my tools. I'll just weld the door shut.
Sounds good. You take the supplies you want out of there, namely food, I think, and you weld the door shut.
There we go.
Arrives at healing facility. Immediately starts taking wounds.
Are you guys going back to sleep for the night?
Yeah.
I guess.
I'm just gonna stand outside Badger's door, being very sad and hurt.
He's floating in there still, kind of. He's like asleep, unconscious, floating in the. For sake of that, you guys will get to finish the rest of your night's sleep. For those of you who would like to,
So we get one wound
you'll
back.
each get another wound back from a night's sleep.
And I'm gonna use one of my stim packs the next.
How
day.
many strain do you get back?
For a night's sleep, you get it all. I don't know if that's actually a rule, but I think it is. And after
I think that's the
encounters,
whole point
technically,
of-
you're supposed to roll either a resilience, maybe. There's two skills you can roll to regenerate it after encounters that we rarely use because we tend to have like not a bunch of back-to-back encounters.
Right.
Or like over the course of days, so you guys.
And strain doesn't always get spent.
And strain doesn't get spent all that much.
Yeah.
We're kind of loosey-goosey with strain.
So
You will each get that back, and any.
I didn't sleep.
Oh. Popsy stayed up.
I didn't wanted to make sure none of those little scorpions came back.
Okay.
Now you're even more hurt than I am.
No scorpions.
You dingus. I stabbed her with a stim pack in the morning.
Get another 5.
There you go. You're back up to 10.
Sneak up behind her and.
Yeah.
And I'm just like getting ready for another scorpion. I'm like, oh.
So the next morning, you get some more wounds back. What are you guys doing this next day? What's the game plan?
How is Zadra doing?
You go over to him. I guess you're going over. He seems like he's still floating, semi-unconscious inside of it. You notice him kind of like he's kind of twitching and turning, and like it seems like maybe having a dream or something. He's not awake or conscious, but he seems to be kind of reactive.
Knock on the glass.
They don't like that.
Are you saying you do that, or are you asking him to do that?
I'll knock on the glass.
You come up and knock on the glass.
I was suggesting he do it, but I'll knock on the glass.
And when you knock on the glass, like his eyes kind of jolt awake, and his hands kind of like suddenly like paddling, like looks around.
That's a good thing he didn't lose an arm then. He'd have a hard time flailing his arms around.
Rude. And then like his kind of eyes go wide, and he like breathe. He's got the respirator thing on, and you see him like reach, and he pulls himself up out of the top of this and peels the thing off, and he like locks eyes with you, and then locks eyes with you, and he says, "We have to get back to Rainbar." And with that, that is where we're going to end this episode of the combined Star Wars game. Let's find out what that means next time.